Welcome to Loud and Lifted Quick Lift, the snack size episode where we turn insight into action before your latte even cools. I'm your host, Betsy Ham. Today, we're highlighting power moves from image strategist Melanie Lippman so your outfit reads leader before you even say a word. She shares a practical playbook for women in leadership to build an authentic, magnetic executive presence in real life and on camera by using style as a strategic brand tool. Let's get into it. Key takeaway number one, brand before closet. Now, we have talked about this countless times, starting with Linda's episode about the importance of building your brand. And Linda challenged us to ask our peers or our coworkers 5 words to describe us. Well, Melanie continued down this path where she said, pick 3 words that you want to describe you as a leader. And then you're going to start building your closet or your look around that. And I love how she said the first thing she does when she works with women is discuss what their values are and what they want to be known for, because your clothes are sending a message, whether you like it or not. And it's even before we realize it. She mentioned a study that was just done by Princeton that people make a first impression in 1/10 of a second. Now, what's crazy is she mentioned that years ago when she started doing image coaching, it was 10 seconds. Which, seems still fairly quickly. But thanks to social media and our desire to scroll and quickly make opinions, that's come down to 1/10 of a second. Someone's making an opinion of you by the way you're showing up. And the reality is that we have to use our clothes as a tool to amplify the brand that we want to be. And if we don't, someone's going to create it for us. So she said, start with this. You're going to think of those 3 brand words that you want to describe you as a leader and what you want to be known for in the workplace. And then you're going to translate each one of those into visible cues. So an example would be if you want to be decisive, you want people to think that you're decisive when they see you, then maybe it's crisp lines, structured shoulders, minimal hardware. If you want to be warm, maybe it's saturated jewel tones, soft textures, curved necklines. Now, I know thinking through this, you're like, how am I supposed to know? And this is where it's great to get help, whether it's somebody like Melanie or even shopping at a local boutique. Getting that feedback from somebody who is an expert in this, honestly, I think is a great opinion. So that was our first part of this, is defining those 3 brand words that we want to be known for, and then start translating those to visible cues. And then we're going to go to our closet. So the takeaway for number 1 here is brand first, your personal brand, and closet second. The second key takeaway was color creates connection. I love this one because I have 100% been guilty of this in the past. And as I mentioned in the episode, our friend Margaret at 3 Little Birds called me out on this a while ago. Wearing all black isn't really the best professional move. And many of us do it. I have certainly done it because we think it's easy. We think it just sort of helps us blend in. It doesn't really make anything stick out. But Melanie made a great point. There's a reason why there's black tie weddings. There's a reason why judges wear black. Judges wear black because they're supposed to not have an opinion. Black tie weddings are because you're supposed to be on your best behavior and kind of just fall into the shadows versus being as part of the wedding party. So black puts up walls and color creates connection. And I think that's such a great point. We all have to get, a lot of us have to get more comfortable wearing color. So Melanie talked about finding the colors that are right for you. Of course, I think we all have that time where we know a certain color looks good on us, or if we have it on, we'll get compliments of that color looks good on you, or you can tell when you see pictures. So choose that power palette, 2 colors or more. Maybe it's a neutral and some accent colors that you look good in and you feel good in. And of course, you can even test this on camera. Get your iPhone out, get your laptop out on a Zoom meeting, and just see as you're looking at yourself in those colors, what you feel. Does it make your eyes pop? Does it look good with your hair, or does it drain you? And guess what? Black doesn't make you look good as much as we all would love to think that it does. So again, here is a huge opportunity. If you need some help, ask a friend, go to your local boutique. But it is something that I think is very easy to do. And honestly, most of us know what colors we look good in. So let's embrace that. Key takeaway number 3 is the Zoom 10-second check-in. So we've all been pretty virtual for a while. I feel like in the last 5 years, I don't know how many camera meetings I had before 2020, but I think we all have learned through the years of what works and what doesn't. And I think one of the biggest takeaways that I have been on the other end of is people showing up like they just rolled out of bed. And it's so unprofessional. And Melanie talked about, you don't have to sit there and be, in your blazer and dressed up and perfume on and ready to go, but maybe you do. Maybe that'll make you feel better. And I know that if I'm totally bumming it out for the day, that better mean I'm sitting here kind of getting stuff done, maybe being creative, probably not jumping on any calls with anyone, but you need to show up for your Zoom or your Teams meeting, whatever those virtual meetings are, just as you would in the office. You wouldn't probably roll into your office with a hoodie and your hair on top of your head and just feeling like you probably don't really give a shit about the day. So don't do that on virtual meetings. I'm telling you, I've been on the receiving end of that as a boss of people on my team who showed up like that. And it just gives you a feeling that they don't care, they're not engaged, or like they literally just rolled out of bed. So take a little pause. Check out how you're showing up virtually, and even your surroundings. Light, as you know, makes a big difference. So we've all been doing virtual meetings long enough. This shouldn't be new news, but I think sometimes it's great to take a step back and just evaluate how you're showing up and what you look like when you're on camera. Next key takeaway was building your style code. Now, again, this isn't go burn everything in your closet and start over. This isn't about going out and buying all the most expensive brands and having some major shopping spree. So do not take that as this. This is going back to defining what your brand is and what you want to represent, and then building a style code around that. And this is you. This is your brand. This isn't even what the latest fall trend is. And I love how when I asked her, how much do trends play into our closet? And she said they really shouldn't, unless it's something that really fits into your style code and helps you represent that brand that you want to be. So her style code is pretty simple. It's, again, going back to those brand rule words, the ones that you just wrote, and then doing the fit rules, kind of taking a look at necklines, hemlines, silhouettes. What flatters you? What are you going to feel good in? Not what you think somebody else is looking for you to show up on. And I get this. This is a hard one. And I talked about on the episode when I first started, Hershey was really conservative. I mean, they literally said you couldn't wear 4-inch heels and you couldn't wear big earrings. I mean, it was, again, this was a while ago. It was definitely this old school conservative feel. Now I know that has evolved, thankfully, for those who are there, but you start to feel like you have to conform. And I love that I said, well, if I feel like, oh, is my neckline too low or is my skirt too short or whatever it is, she said, it probably isn't, because at least you are aware of that. Now, if you're not questioning that, maybe you should take a step back, or again, this is a great time to phone a friend and get feedback, but you have to build a style code that fits your brand, what you're trying to achieve, and that you're going to feel comfortable in. I know we've all been there where you wear something that you're like, I don't know if I should have actually worn this, and you leave the house and you're sitting in a meeting and you're so uncomfortable. It just changes your way of engaging. It changes your confidence. And it could be because something you feel isn't flattering. It could be too tight. It could be uncomfortable. Let's talk about how many times I have worn shoes that were super cute and not comfortable. And by the end of the day, you are crawling back to your office because you can't walk anymore. So we're all guilty of that. I especially have been very guilty of that with shoes through the years. So find things that you feel confident and comfortable in and are continuing to build that brand. So the action item here is block 20 minutes this week and check those boxes. Have your brand words, check the fit rules, look at the color, back to the color piece, and what are the colors that you look good in? And then some of those signature details, whether it's shoes or textures or jewelry, we all kind of have our thing that we like. So embrace that and create those formulas that you have, that when you need to go to a board meeting, you have your structured blazer and your column of colors and maybe pointed shoes. And if you're giving a keynote, the statement jacket and the tailored pants. And if you're on Zoom, the jewel tone knit and the clean neckline, maybe some simple hoop earrings. Whatever it is, it's figuring out what is right for you. So here's the thing that we all need to realize, and I love that Melanie said this: the most important person that we get dressed for is ourselves. It's not for anyone else. It's for ourselves. And I love that she said that. So it's going through the process of figuring out what needs to happen throughout the day, how you're going to show up and be that best version of yourself. How do you do it? Maybe it is putting perfume on and wearing high heels, and whatever it is that you need is what you need to do, and go for it. So Finding out what that is and making a plan to get there is pretty simple. And it's not buying a whole new closet. Sorry. She said most women are 75% there. It's just sorting through and making a plan. And I love how she said many of us have learned to kind of blend in to belong, especially in male dominated industries. And that's armor, not presence. So you can be powerful. And if you want to be feminine, you can be feminine on your terms. If this helped, send this to a woman you're rooting for. And if you haven't listened to Melanie's full episode, I strongly encourage you to do so. As always, subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on Instagram for a daily dose of support and inspiration. Until next time, stay loud, stay lifted, and be intentional about the type of leader you want to be.